the Kansas City Chiefs bye week, and we are at the halfway mark of the season. And we still have major concerns regarding this offense. But no cause for alarms, because I have 3 reasons on why the Kansas City Chiefs offense can look much better headed into the second half of the season. Now with that, let's cut the chit chat and let's have some fun. Now, before we get into how I think the Kansas City Chiefs can resolve their issues headed into the second half of the season, I will be going live tomorrow. Yes, it is bye week, but doesn't mean there is no stop in the action whatsoever. This is going to be a little different stream than what you guys may be familiar with. It's just going to be me answering some of the questions that Chiefs Kingdom has, and also talking my mind on what has progressed so far in the season and what I expect the Kansas City Chiefs to do on the rest of the year. So please, if you are interested, hit that notify button. Please do like the stream. That way it does go out and reach out to all of Chiefs Kingdom. And I look forward to seeing everyone there. It'll be tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So get ready, buckle up, and let's have some fun. But today, why we are here is because the struggles regarding the Kansas City Chiefs offense. It has been obvious. Now, it may not look as terrible as what all Chiefs Kingdom and media is perceiving it to be, but it doesn't look the same. It's not as high-powered as what it once was. So today, let's cover a few things on how I think the Kansas City Chiefs offense can look good. Now, what I mean by that, I do not mean it's going to be flying all over the field, high-powered once again, but they can dominate. And first, they need to start off with, I feel like I'm going to sound like a broken record for everyone who tunes in, but run the damn ball. I believe this is a defensive first team. Now, to incorporate all that, you can manage the clock heavily just by giving the ball to Isaiah Pacheco. The stats say that they are a much better team once given Isaiah Pacheco the chance to control the game. They have actually, once Isaiah Pacheco touches the ball 15 times in a game, they do not lose a game. And I think that is something they need to lean heavy with on the back half of the season. And Isaiah Pacheco so far this year is the 8th leading rusher. I think that's kind of funny. Like, one, you think he could be higher up there, but also with the less amount of times he has seen the ball, you're like, okay, top 10, that is still really good. Just imagine if he got those valuable touches. He can easily be a top 5 rushing leader in the league. Andy Reid needs to believe in him and needs to realize that he's not just a running threat, but also he's a legit weapon for this offense. It seems like we've seen Isaiah Pacheco grow so much from his rookie year. In the receiving game, in the pass blocking game, he had a phenomenal block last week where he let Patrick Mahomes find an option and held the pocket clean. Isaiah Pacheco is becoming a complete running back, and it is time to hand the reins to him, and he needs to see the ball at least 15 times every game. And it's funny, I think that's even on the light end, but I'm going to start with the light end because there's games where he's only seen it 8 times. That is inexcusable, and that needs to change starting against Philly on Monday night, because Philly, they're going to try to run it down your throat. They're going to do the tush push, and they're going to make sure they control the game. This is going to be a great matchup, and I think I say it time in and time out. The Chiefs need to flip the script as well. Teams try to run on you, you run on them, and you play resilient football, and you control that clock. And also, the run game helps the pass game. It makes the defense be honest. And when they're honest, that helps QB1, and that helps the wide receivers to make a play against the secondary. Isaiah Pacheco is the main answer for this offense headed into the backstretch. Now, you didn't think I was not going to go talking about this offensive struggles and not mention the wide receivers whatsoever. Of course, it was going to be brought up, but Chiefs Kingdom, just sit back and relax, because it's not as terrible as what it may seem. And also, I believe the Kansas City Chiefs have the weapons in the wide receiving core to be good throughout the back stretch of the season. And we all know it starts with Rashee Rice. He definitely needs to see the ball more. He's seeing the field more. Now he needs more targets. Every time the dude touches the ball, he's a yak killer. He knows how to run after the catch, and Mahomes needs to sustain that trust with him. It was inexcusable in the Dolphins game that he had that phenomenal third down catch that most receivers can't make, and it shows you he can be a legit receiver in this league. Then afterwards, not another target went his way. I don't know if that's play calling. I don't know if that's Mahomes. I do not know if it's Rashee Rice not getting open. He was getting open though. I've seen some plays, but it needs to change. Mahomes needs to have the kind of trust he has with Kelce and Rashee Rice. And if it means forcing some balls, force them. I don't care. But you need to have the ability to maintain a trustworthy relationship with your wide receivers, and it starts with Rashee Rice. Now, when I mean force balls, I don't mean throw it into triple coverage. But if Rashee Rice is one-on-one on a guy, you have to have the trust that he's going to beat him. He's a physical, big play type of receiver. Let him make that kind of play. But also, I'm going to stick with the wide receivers, and this was going to be my main focus as well, is we got to get over the Kadarius Toney concerns. Yes, a lot of us focus on him that he lost week 1 for us. I'm not going to change your mindset whatsoever. We're going into week 11 the next time the Kansas City Chiefs touch the football field. Kadarius Toney needs to be more involved, and I believe he's a legit playmaker with the football in his hand. What happened in week 1, I don't think is fair to Kadarius Toney. He was coming off an injury, he was rushed, he didn't practice that much, and we made sure to try to make him wide receiver number 1, and we threw everything at him. We're 10 weeks later. That catch he had last week against the Dolphins showed you he's healthy. He's ready to go. And the fact he's getting less than 10 snaps a game has got to change. I really believe this offense can be great with Kadarius Toney and Rashee Rice as your main wide receiver threats. And also, I get tired of seeing on social media that, oh, they're saving Jerick McKinnon, Kadarius Toney for the playoffs. I hate that. Now, do I know if it's true or not? No, I don't. But neither does the fan base as well. And if Coach Reid and the coaching staff are doing that, that's another inexcusable action as well, because your offense is legit struggling. You need to find playmakers. And if you're saving players for the playoffs that you don't even know you can make, yes, it's signed, sealed, and delivered, and we all think we'll make it, and we most definitely can. But if you're knocking rust off in the playoffs and then they don't perform then, it's going to look bad. So they need to start playing now. They need to get in a rhythm now. And it starts with guys like Rashee Rice, Kadarius Toney, Jerick McKinnon. We're not saving no one. Our offense doesn't look good enough to save anyone. We need to find playmakers. And that's why I think it's a crazy thought. I just think we're in a funk. And that funk hopefully ends sooner rather than later. But one thing that can really help it out is get Rashee Rice more targets and get Kadarius Toney more involved and forget about the pass, because the dude can be a legit threat. Not a wide receiver number 1, but a playmaker. And that is something this offense needs. Now, my next and final thing that I think will help the Kansas City Chiefs offense may seem like nothing to a lot of y'all, but can be the biggest reason on why this team is struggling on the offensive side of the ball. And it's with Coach Reid and it's with Patrick Mahomes. And all I'm going to say is just get back to your roots. Find yourself, because as of late, a lot of y'all don't like to put blame on them, but Mahomes is turning the ball more than usual, and the play calling hasn't been up to par in my standards, to where we're doing way too much when we can just keep it simplistic and move the ball up the field. We need to realize who we are, and then that will be good football. And it all starts with Coach Reid and putting the players in the right position to succeed. And I feel like that hasn't been happening a lot. And it could be because this is a young core, and the core is trying to learn the playbook. And Reid is trying to find out where to put these players on the field to succeed. I get all that. But we're in the back stretch, so something needs to change. And I'm not saying, oh, get rid of Coach Reid. That's the last thing I will say. He is a phenomenal coach. He is the best coach in the league. But also, he has made questionable calls. That can be rightfully said. When it comes to the trick plays and the cute stuff, it tends to not work, but especially this year, it's not. So those need to be lowered. And if you want the trick plays to work, don't make them predictable. Every team knows they're about to happen. That's why I mentioned, if you really get some simplistic with it and you run the football and you do short passes and just move the ball downfield, that is your cute trick play, because the league is not expecting it. So once you do that and then the defenses become honest, then the Andy Reid offenses can start exposing teams. But right now, that is not the case. So you got to do what's best for the offense and just find a way to move the football. And that's why I mentioned, I really believe it starts with the run game, and that helps Patrick Mahomes out a lot. And then when you focus on Patrick Mahomes, yes, the turnovers, they're high. You can't avoid them. And going into the back stretch, they need to go down. He has a turnover like once every game. I'm tired of seeing it. It's like you can bank on it. And Mahomes, you just got to believe in yourself. Not saying he doesn't, but you can see when sometimes he's in the pocket and he gets flustered, he holds on to that football too long, which can end up to be an interception or a sack fumble. What I haven't seen a lot of, and we saw earlier in the year and now it's kind of disappeared, is, boy, trust them legs. If a receiver is not getting open, if anyone is as good as you, which I don't believe, on third down, you can run for 20 yards on third down. Go do your thing. Again, that makes the defenses more honest. And you can't tell me a wide receiver won't get open or Travis Kelce won't get open. And that's another thing. Trust in everyone around you. We've seen it time in and time out. When it's third and short, even if Travis Kelce is triple covered, you're going to try to force the football to him. That has got to change. If Travis Kelce is triple covered, someone's got to be one-on-one. And I would rather you force that one-on-one than throwing it away to Travis Kelce on 3rd and 1 when he's triple covered. Honestly, what I would really hope is Coach Reid call a run in that position and trust the grown man. Again, I'm not picking on Coach Reid. I'm not picking at Patrick Mahomes because they are phenomenal. They are both the greatest at their craft and greatest in the game. But when you see something is wrong, you have to point it out. And when it comes to turnovers from Mahomes and play calling, they are noticeably not the right move so far. Not saying that it's terrible, but it's something that can change and help this offense to progress in the right direction moving in the second half of the season. And if the Kansas City Chiefs can do those 3 things, well, kind of 4. Cut down on turnovers, play calling, get the right wide receivers involved, and run that grown man, this offense can be one of the best in the leagues again. And honestly, it's funny. I think they still got a top 5 offense, so Chiefs Kingdom. Can you please stop going after them? Yes, it doesn't look as sexy. It doesn't look as pretty as what it once was. But they are still a good offense. They are moving the ball up and down the field. They will find a way to punch it in for touchdowns. And once they do, this is going to be an unstoppable team. They're already a hard team as it is. They're beating good teams with just great defense. Imagine once the offense actually looks explosive and they look like themselves again. Just because it's a different year, just because the team is different, does not mean this is a good, legit Super Bowl contender. So temper down your expectations because they are still looking good, but they do got some things to correct. With that, I'm going to check out. Please be sure to jump down in the comments below and let me know some adjustments you're looking for on this offense. With that, also, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you did like this video, please leave that big thumbs up. I'm checking out. Y'all take care. Peace.